So let's talk about Alexander Isak and Newcastle United. So are Newcastle wrong in trying to keep hold of their best player? Absolutely not. But is it helping them? No, it's not. So we have to see the example of two teams. One is a Manchester City and the other one is Borussia Dortmund. So when Manchester City started acting like a big club and spending a lot of money in the transfer market and giving fat salaries to their players, there was no PSR. So there was no restriction, there was no real restriction on how much they can spend on players and on salaries. So they managed to build a squad out of spending their owners' money, and they managed to become successful. And now Manchester City in this moment is an attractive step for a player, and a lot of players consider Man City as a final destination and they want to join the club and win trophies at the club. Whereas the other example is Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund is considered by a lot of players as a stepping stone in their career. They don't see it as a final destination. They see it as a career ladder. On a career ladder, they see it as a step where they can develop as a young player and then move on to bigger clubs like Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc. We have a lot of examples of this, such as Ousmane Dembele, Erling Haaland. Then there is Mario Götze, Robert Lewandowski, then Aubameyang, etc. Although I don't consider Arsenal as a bigger club than Dortmund, but still, you get the point, right? And whereas Newcastle United at this point is not as attractive as Man City or a Liverpool or even a Man United for that matter. We see Benjamin Sesko choosing Man United over Newcastle, and their behavior towards Alexander Isak is not helping this problem. So in this moment, there are laws restricting the spending power of the clubs. So Newcastle is not commercially as big as a Liverpool or a Man City or a Man United. So they are not able to generate revenues through their commercial means. The only revenue, significant revenue that they are getting are through the TV rights and the prize money, which is not enough to spend limitlessly in the transfer market. So the only way they can become successful is by attracting new young talents towards the club and then keeping hold of them for 2-3 years and then selling them on for profits and then buying other players for the same profit that they have managed to create. So this saga where they are holding on to Alexander Isak is getting ugly, and this is sending a wrong message to other young players who are wanting to join Newcastle. A lot of players might be interested in joining Newcastle with the thought of considering the club as a stepping stone towards bigger clubs like United or Chelsea or Liverpool. But if Newcastle gives out a message that they are going to hold on to their best players and block a move to another club, then a lot of players will be put off by this message. For example, Benjamin Sesko also might have had a similar thought that what if he becomes successful at Newcastle and then Newcastle refuse to let him go to a bigger club? Because football is a short career and you cannot hold a player without his wishes. We saw this happening even in case of Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold wanted to move to Real Madrid. In today's market, the only bigger fish than Liverpool probably is Real Madrid, and Liverpool could not stop Trent Alexander-Arnold from going to Real Madrid. Had they tried to do it in an ugly way, it would have sent out a message that to a player like Florian Wirtz, who might want to move on to a bigger club in his future, that Liverpool will make it ugly if he wants to move on. And that's not a good message to send. So I would urge Newcastle United to maybe reconsider their decision as to how exactly they are trying to hold on to Alexander Isak. I mean, it's right that they will obviously try to hold on to their best player, and without a significantly good replacement, it's not quite right to sell him on also. But they have to reconsider the whole thing as to how they are going to portray themselves to the media and to the other players that might want to join Newcastle. Yeah, that's it.